Yo, what's up, guys? It's Brad, and today I want to talk a little bit about sales in all areas of life. You could do this with women. You could do, picking up women. You could do this with making money. You could do this with your career, with getting job interviews. It doesn't really matter. This is a philosophy that applies to all those things, and it really ultimately, in my opinion, it comes down to a level of aggression and a level of willingness to say fuck it. I've worked with a decent amount of entrepreneurs in my life. I've worked in some startups, I've worked in some corporations, I've run my own businesses, and I've had my own mental battles with this shit. So I can tell you what the biggest the number one thing that causes businesses to fail, period. Sales is the number one thing that causes businesses to fail. If you don't have cash flow, you're not making sales, you don't have business. I don't care how great your product is. If you don't have sales, you don't have business. You don't have a way to take payment from somebody. You can't pay your rent. You can't pay your employees. You can't pay nothing. So let's talk about this. Why do businesses not make sales? When in fact, business is very simple. I have something of value that I can do for you. I know that. Now you also have something of value for me. You probably just don't know that. You don't know that for a fact that you can ask me to pay you to do something because you've never done it before and you have this thing called doubt. So that's where this thing called aggression comes in. You're just going to make a decision that this is, if you've never started a business before, you're going to say, actually, I've done that example too many times. Let's say you're a startup and you have a product. You have, the next Facebook. You know how many times I've heard that? They're like, we have the next Facebook. Well, dude, the world would fucking love the next Facebook right now. We would have loved the next Facebook like 10 goddamn years ago. So if you have the next Facebook, what you need to do is you need to, number one, you don't even have to fucking build it. Although that's not the most ethical way to do this, but you don't even have to fucking build it. You get aggressive. You say, I'm going to fundraise, okay? I'm going to go out and I have a goal of making $100,000 in capital for this, okay? What you then do is you then proceed to go out and literally either, whether it be in person, you're putting on a suit, and you're going to BNI events, you're going fucking door to door, you're setting up meetings, you're networking with people, you're going to WeWork co-working spaces, you're talking to people. Or you're doing it on the internet, you're doing it on LinkedIn. Sales is pretty much three things. The first part is you need a pool of people to speak to. And remember this, people think that like their niche, they can only target certain people. While that can be true, generally speaking, especially in the beginning, people are just people and people buy things. So you want to just speak to a lot of people. You want to have a pool of people. I call this prospecting. So like I have friends lists, I have WhatsApp lists, I have Telegram lists, I have YouTube followers, I have blog followers, I have all these people, thousands and thousands of people that are in my list, they're in my prospecting bucket, so to speak, my prospecting silo, that I can go and reach out and talk to every day. And the more people that you talk to every day, two things happen. Number one, you get better at it. So like, you could follow a sales script. I could give you an exact script for your business that's going to be pretty good. It'll get people on the phone. But if you're not like good at doing it, there's just going to be little like shitty things that you do in the sales process that fuck it up for yourself. Just waiting too long to follow up and send the next message, waiting too long to take the payment, waiting too long to get on the phone with them, so on and so forth. Or when you're on the phone, you have bad vocal tonality, or when you're on the phone, you don't have a way to pay, or you fumble, you just don't seem certain of yourself, whatever. There's a lot of ways to fuck it up. So you get better, number one. Number two is that you'll discover that there's always somebody buying. If you speak to enough people, there's always somebody buying. And three, let's save that for later. Okay, so that's two. One is that there's always somebody buying in a day. You just need to speak to more people. Number two is that you're going to get better at it. The second part is the sales part. This is the part where, you're more or less just asking to do business with them. You present your product, and you're going to have to present that product in a really, really enticing way. And this is something that, again, it's not as hard as people think. It can be a very, very simple thing. You could just say, I could do your copywriting for you. I have a great product attraction accelerator. It'll speed up your results with women very quickly through online dating. I also have a whole bunch of other information. They're great. Very, very simple, quick to the point. You say it to enough people, you're going to get a sale or two or three or four, whatever, however many people you speak to. And then you get better at that too. And you're going to, like for a sales page or a sales script, you're going to constantly be refining how you pitch that product, what are the benefits for them, how can you reword it in such a enticing way that it's just a fucking steal. I mean, if I was going to give you a Lamborghini for $1, I mean, you would be like, that's a deal that's so outrageously good, I'd feel fucking stupid not to buy it right now. You know what I'm saying? So you're like aiming for that. You're always trying to add so much value, such a great pitch. You're refining it, and you get better at it over time. And again, much like the first step, prospecting, it's one of those things. People don't do enough reps, so they never get good at it, and they never refine their product offering. They never refine their sales script or their prospecting abilities to the level they're really good at it. Okay, so it just takes a lot of reps to get really good at it. Okay. This is the second thing. Third thing would be the mindset. Once you make sales, you're either making sales or you're not making sales. And every day that you're making sales, you're building your confidence. It's called Sam Ovens calls it the pendulum of doubt. So like every day a salesman is going to experience the pendulum of doubt. You either doubt, and this is some real shit, guys. This will either cause you to succeed or fail. I swear to God, this is one of the biggest things, the mindset. The days that you're not making sales, you're doubting yourself. Like, is this even going to work? Like, man, I can't do this shit. It just seems like this huge, insurmountable wall. And then the days that you are making sales and even if you're just doing the prospecting and you're taking the steps, you are building confidence. You are breaking through that wall, through the doubt. And the ultimate breakthrough of the doubt is when you make sales. When you make you make your first sale. For me, that was like, I cried. You know, I remember like 10 years ago getting even my first lead from online ads. It was like 10 years ago. I was just like, it worked. Oh my God. So that was amazing. That gave me a lot of boost. Now, the more sales you make, the more confidence you have, and the more sales that you're going to make. It's a positive feedback loop. Like, so when you're making sales, keep making sales. Like, go on a goddamn run. Store that money away. Put it back in the business. Invest it all in the business. Put everything you got in the business, and it'll just keep growing, growing, growing. You're going to have more and more confidence that way. But just be aware that the next day you start again from pretty much the middle. You know, you might have more confidence that day. You might be enjoying doing the sales, but you're going to eventually have doubt. And you just need to remember, like, okay, feeling doubt, it's a pendulum of doubt. I need to fight my way back. And that's it. And then, you know, one day what you do is you basically hire people to do this shit for you. You know, you just basically hire people to do the same thing that I'm talking about. Now, for me, I'll tell you a little bit about my results. I think the most impressive thing about me is how many times my businesses have failed. and not really failed. I guess they did fucking fail. I made mistakes. I made big mistakes that I teach people not to make anymore. And what happened was, for instance, this year, let's focus on this year. Let's say the last 2 cycles. 2 cycles ago, I had a good YouTube follow. No, I had a great Facebook following, and I had a great YouTube following, and I had built my Facebook and my YouTube up 2 to 3 times before. Now, the big mistake there was not really just focusing on my blog. Also, I think I switched over from my blog to another like ClickFunnels thing, so I got rid of the blog. So I just like crushed they censored me. That was a huge hit. And then I didn't continue with the blog, so that kind of also was just stupid. Always build your business on your own real estate. Like, own a blog, own a website. Don't host your only thing on ClickFunnels or fucking YouTube or Facebook or whatever, because they own that. You don't own that. You own your site. You own the domain name. You pay for the server. You can just pay for another server, and you can also back up your site on a hard drive and everything like that. So you have much more ownership of your website than you do of fucking Facebook page or whatever. So there's that. So after that, I had to quite literally rebuild, and I managed to rebuild my sales up to, at one point, up to like $30,000 a month. It was totally insane, and I did it just from old school sales shit. Old school, just going out, messaging a shitload of people, calling people, getting on the phone, just all day, 10, 12 hours a day, just making sales, just refining my offer, just fucking literally was a total nightmare. And then the coronavirus hit. The model that I was doing in my business was picking up women, teaching guys to pick up women and shit. That was what I was into. Now I have to just basically do it again for Attraction Accelerator, and it's cool. I know exactly what to do. I know exactly what to expect with this old school sales style of going about it, and it fucking works. I mean, it works tremendously. It works in any field. It works in any business. You could sell almost anything. For me, I want to really grow my brand and get Attraction Accelerator out there to as many people as possible. I also don't really like doing one-on-one work with clients at this point. Now, I recommend like doing it when you first start out, but like after a while, dude, like you just keep going through the same things again and again with the clients. And I've just been doing it for so many years that like, you know, and the clients will, they'll argue with you. Clients, honestly, like I'm gonna be honest with you guys, clients kind of suck. There's a lot of great clients that I love, and I love people individually, but to work with, there's a reason why clients are paying you to do this shit. It's because they've got their own mental blocks, they've got their own issues, and a lot of times clients suck. So I moved to a product where I didn't have to deal with the client's questions and their ridiculous expectations and all the bullshit that can come up, even with the contract. So I'm all about this now, and it works. I've done it. I've done this old school sales technique thing twice, and it works, and it can work for you in any business. You may like doing like a traditional thing, like marketing or advertising or whatever, something that you can charge high ticket for. Like I charge for boot camps $3,500. You could charge that per month to do, give them a deliverable, like a new sales copy for their website, $3,500 to do that. You speak to enough people, you're going to get it. You may need to speak to 5,000 people to get it. But you know what? If you speak to 5,000 people and you made fucking $3,500, that's pretty cool. And then you can get better at it, and maybe next time it'll be 3,000 people. Maybe next time it'll be 2,000. You get reviews, you get a website, you get ads going there, and then you have people coming to you. And then you have other people that you train to do this sales thing. And last thing I'm going to say on this too is big mistake I've made in the past, and a lot of people make, is don't just go and hire somebody to do sales for you. If you don't know how to do sales, if you've never been in the trenches doing sales like this, like I'm talking about, it's not going to work. You're not going to effectively manage them. You're not going to effectively know how to vet them and hire the right one. You have to do it yourself. Again, and it's such a big skill for life that if you want to be in business, you have to be a salesperson, period. Like it's just, there's no way around it. You have to be a salesperson, whether you're looking for funding, you're looking for a marketer. It's the same type of thing. You need to speak to prospecting. If you're looking for you're recruiting, speak to a lot of people. Before you hire, you're going to speak to a lot of people. You're going to filter it down, and then you're going to sell them on the values of your company. If they don't buy into it, then you got to keep going until you find someone that does. Marketing, like every little thing, it requires that grit and determination and the same type of thing. Everything is sales, like Grant Cardone says. All right, so that's about it, guys. By the way, I put all this shit in my product Attraction Accelerator. I have several sections on making money, and they're pretty beefy actually. There's quite a lot to chew on there. So check it out. It's only $150. Helps support the business, and also you're going to get a lot out of it too. All right, peace, guys.